Say you return an array from a server. That array is filled with objects of users. You need to display all the names of the users on your page. This is a scenario that happens all too often, but we have a few tools at our disposal to help us out with this. In the beginning of your JavaScript journey, you probably ran into for loops, where that looked something like this. I is 0 while I is less than our array's length, and then every time we wrap around, we'll add 1 to that I. Then we can console.log our array. Let's just do the name. Run that, and we print out all of the names. In my opinion, there are a lot of moving parts for something so simple. You have to initialize your I. You have to tell it how long to go. You have to tell I what to do every time you wrap around. And then it's not exactly the cleanest once you get to the console log either. A use case for this would be if you had a list and you only wanted to return, say, the first 3. That's pretty easy to work with, but even then there are other methods to getting the same result. But a lot of the time you just want to loop through them all. So move over, Grandpa. There's a new sheriff in town, and that sheriff is the for each method. So we just do our people array, and for each comes standard with all arrays. So just say dot for each on the end of your array, and then you pass in a callback. I'm going to use an arrow function. The first parameter is whatever you want to name it. Since this is an array of people, I'm going to use the singular of that, which is person. And then we can just console.log our person, and we'll get the name. Run that same output, a lot cleaner code. You can also use a close cousin of for each, which would be map. And we get the same result. There are some differences between how for each and map return their values, but when you are making that design decision, you can look a little more into that. And these do not have to be objects. Any array will work. So say you have some numbers, and we'll leave it called person, even though that doesn't make very much sense, but just to show you that you could name this whatever you want. You could call it X, but be friendly to yourself and be friendly to your fellow programmers and give it some sort of descriptive name. The big takeaway for this is know that you can iterate through an array using for each and map. It doesn't all have to be for loops.